Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Good morning. We got our special guest co-host, Carrie Champion, also Lauren LaRosa. Let me say what's up to my daughter, too. She's on her way to class. Morning, Maddie. Love you, baby.
Good morning, everybody. Salute to everybody who watched me on The Daily Show this week, man. I appreciate every single one of you who tuned in every night, Monday through Thursday, 11 p.m. to watch me on The Daily Show. Salute to all my guests this week. My man S.A. Cosby, Robin Thede, Michael Rubin, and my man Jelly Roll joined me last night.
Did you say Kelly Rowland?
I said Jelly Roll. How come every time I say Jelly Roll, somebody thinks I'm saying Kelly Rowland?
You say Kelly, like it, though. You say it so fast.
Yeah. Star did that too. Star, you don't know I know that you did that unless Taylor was lying. But when I said Jelly Roll last night, she thought I said Kelly Rowland.
You say it fast.
Jelly Roll.
That don't sound like it now.
Yes. No, it didn't.
But earlier it did.
Yeah, salute to the good brother Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll wants to come up here too, man.
Yeah.
I love Jelly
Bring
Roll,
him on
man. I love all the success that Jelly Roll is having. He's nominated for 2 Grammys right now. So drop the clues bombs for Jelly Roll. Good brother, man. Good Southern brother, man.
All right, well, let's get to the rumors.
Baby. This is the Rumor Report.
I think a lot of people will recognize the voice and the name.
On the Breakfast Club.
Lauren came in hot.
You know, I came in telling the truth. So Russell Simmons sat down for In Depth with Graham Bensinger, and in this interview, he speaks out about the rape allegations that came out a few years ago against him, and this is the first time that he's actually spoken on them. It's a lot of audio. I want to get into it. He talks about taking 9 lie detector tests. He applauds the Me Too movement, but most importantly, he talks about the culture of the time of music that he was in. So let's play the first clip, and then we'll get into the combo.
If the allegations are not true, why would all these women accuse you?
Look, there's a song by Houdini. I'm a hoe, I'm a hoe. 3 different girls after every show. Culturally, we thought that was the right way. And a number of sexual partners and compromising positions I put myself in is beyond anybody's imagination.
You said you had more foursomes than most men have partners.
Yeah, that wasn't really, I think it was cultural and silly and egotistic and sad and from an insecurity that feeds it, and a lot of reasons why we were that way. If you slept with as many people as I slept with, thousands, and we're talking about 6 people.
There were like 20, right?
I spoke poorly to 15 of them. 12 of them. I spoke poorly all the time. I'm a Def Comedy Jam guy. I was crude.
Now, he does talk about, and after hearing this, I think it's important to say that he says that with the Me Too movement, it did sensitize men in a way that they never were before, especially during that time, which is why he can look back and say those things. But I think he always will get flack for saying it's because of the era that I came up in that I was insensitive to the women that are coming out and saying these things. But I think that there's something to that point, though.
He shouldn't get flack for that. And I wish he was having that conversation with an enlightened woman, so they could have even went deeper on the topic. I think Russell and more men should speak to the culture they grew up in, and those convos should be allowed. They should speak on the things that they did, and that's how others learn. Most of the time in these situations, we just end up tearing down the person, but we need to be tearing down the system. Like, this isn't about the individual Russell Simmons. This is about a culture that we aren't discussing. Folks say they want things to change, but nobody wants to discuss the culture that did fuel a lot of this behavior.
And he's bringing up
normalized
Houdini.
a lot of this behavior.
Yeah, he's bringing up old school Houdini. Like, how dare you? Like, and he's right. I don't think he's going to get flack for that. I think that's fair. I think that's an honest comment. I don't think that it excuses behavior.
Nope.
But I think it explains his mentality and perhaps a lot of mentalities of those who haven't spoken up, because I know that there are some people we consider luminaries in the hip-hop community, and they've been silent on this issue because they too probably participated in the same way in which Russell did, but he's the one going down for it. Meaning, like, I can think of people we know and love, and they are now married and evolved and live a totally different life and could be, considered very prestigious, but probably participated in the same.
Well, see, the only thing with Russell is being a hoe is not against the law, right? But when you talk about, and I'm taking it out of Russell now, but when you talk about rape or sexual assault, that's totally 2 different lines, right? You know what I mean? Like,
and he also tried to suggest that there's a different definition. That bothered
me.
So
we're going to get into that, and I think that that's a good point that you brought up, Envy, because I think what he was trying to do was talk about the fact that you're taught to kind of be this almost like barbaric animal in the culture he grew up in, and then you learn that there are so many levels to what a woman can not be okay with. So let's get into the second audio.
It's a spectrum.
There is a spectrum.
My good sister Amanda Seals always says that. It's a spectrum.
So he talks about it. Let's get into it.
We don't want to go backwards. We want to believe with it. We have to give them the benefit of the doubt, but we can't demonize people without proof either. Twitter cannot make a decision. I've never spoken to a policeman. I've never spoken to a judge about anything. So who's the judge and the jury here? Maybe you haven't lived in the real world. It's gray. You know, no one's intentionally hurt anybody. It's a big difference.
Rape is a strong allegation, and some of these stories were that you pinned women down. I mean, like bad stuff, you know, either happened or it didn't, right?
Yeah, well, you know, it's a serious word, but I think they've changed the meaning.
How so?
Because I've never been violent to anybody. The rape is a violent crime, so it is a very serious. Somebody jumps out of bushes and rapes somebody, it's different, I think. Recollection, I mean, so I don't think anybody's saying it was violent. Of course, I've been insensitive.
I do not like the way he put that. I think I wish he would have. Now I wish he was having a conversation with a woman, because as a woman, I'm sitting here and I'm like, just because you were not violent does not mean that someone was not
rape.
And that's subjective. He doesn't know. Like you, how many times as a woman have you been in a situation where you felt like I have met men and I've been like, oh, this man's a little too
creepy.
Aggressive for me.
Yeah.
He's creepy.
And he probably don't even know.
And he doesn't think he's creepy. Like he's giving me, he's making me uncomfortable.
But that's the point, right? That's why I salute to my good sister Amanda Seals. She always says it's a spectrum, and that's why these conversations are valuable. And I wish he was having this convo with an enlightened woman, so they could really have the conversation.
But you know what, and not to say, of course, when somebody says no, it doesn't have to be violent. It doesn't have to be somebody hopping out the bushes of the textbook rape. It could be just somebody saying no. But like you said, where somebody might have been too aggressive for you, somebody else might have liked that aggressive.
Correct.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. But once somebody says no, you don't have to be jumping out of bushes. It could be no is no. It could be the most sensual, romantic thing. But if somebody says no and you continue on, it's rape.
And even if someone doesn't say no and they come back and say, in that moment, I wasn't comfortable, there's something you got to think about sometimes.
And men aren't thinking that. Men aren't thinking that at all.
These conversations are valuable, and I hope one day we can have them without, tearing each other down, because it's not about tearing down an individual. It's about tearing down a system, tearing down a culture.
But, I know we got to go, but something to what you said, if we're intimate, right, and the next day is something that you didn't like and you didn't mention it that day, how would a man know, though? You see what I'm saying?
No, what she's suggesting is, I think as a woman, there's just there's body language, there's a way that we feel. Like sometimes men, because you guys are, I believe, not you all, not you men per se, but men in general, I think their instinct is hunt. And ours is very much like, I have been in a situation where a guy has been a little too handsy for me. I'm like, I'm good. And he thinks I like it. Or I just get up and move. I mean, I'd have even verbalized it.
Well, if you say I'm good, you're telling
him. Or maybe I don't even
verbalize
it. Maybe I don't even verbalize it. I kind of just move like I don't want to be bothered. They still don't understand that. You're not even looking for that because they think, oh, she wants it.
You'll peep it. Like, you might peep it on the outside, but they don't get it.
They don't get it.
Like, what do you do in that situation? You know what I mean?
Right.
So...
All right, well, that is your rumor report. Charlamagne, donkey today. Who you giving your donkey to?
Michael Gordon from Florida. He needs to come to the front of the congregation. We like to have a word with him. And remember, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up
early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.